I'm Amy and this is my little boy Jackson, and our experience with Scott Star. We unfortunately, when Jackson was 3 weeks old, he was taken into hospital because of respiratory distress, and he was then taken to HDU. When he was in HDU, he was there for a few days, and unfortunately he wasn't getting better, he was only getting worse, but they couldn't figure out what was wrong with him, and then he ended up on a ventilator. So because he was on a ventilator, we were told that he would either have to go to Edinburgh or Glasgow, and because he was going to be taken there, they were going to phone Scott Star to take him. I remember them kind of coming in very professional, and their sole focus was Jackson, which it should have been, and actually put me at ease a little bit, because I thought, well, these guys seem to know what they're doing. They were straight on asking what he needed, how he needed it, and what they needed to do to transfer him so that he could safely get to Edinburgh. Once they found all of that information out, they then took the time to explain to me and my husband, what they were then going to do with Jackson, because unfortunately, because of the size of the plane, I wasn't able to go with him, which was really hard as a mum to not go with your 3-week-old baby when he's on a ventilator. But they were very reassuring, and told me the process would be that if something was wrong, they will call me straight away. If something's not wrong, then no news is good news, and that as soon as they land in Edinburgh, they will phone me straight away. When we were on our way to Edinburgh, I did get the phone call to say everything went brilliant, everything was as expected, and that he was now in the hands of the ICU, and that hopefully we would be there shortly. So that was my experience with Scott Star, and just sort of the beginning of Jackson's journey. Initially they thought he had bronchitis, but it turned out that he had left diaphragmatic paralysis, which took quite a lot of investigations to figure out what was wrong with him, because he was on oxygen for such a long period of time that they couldn't get him off, so all these investigations need to take place. And when he was born, he had Erb's palsy, so they eventually put those two things together and realised that the reason he was struggling with his breathing, the distress that was caused, was because of this paralysis, and him also being premature, which meant that he wasn't fully grown and didn't have the same abilities as maybe another child. I just remember thinking, yeah, these guys know what they're talking about, because when someone's coming in and saying, oh well, we're taking somebody to put with your son on a ventilator on an airplane to another hospital, I'm like, well, what does that mean for my baby? And as his mum, now obviously I have no medical experience, but as his mum, I'm like, well, I should be there. I need to be there for him and care for him. But for some reason, the way that they made me feel was they're on top of it. They're going to do their utmost for my son and look after him to the best of their abilities. I just want to say a massive thank you for how you made me feel on the day, which was supported and cared for, and also just thinking of the little details which people might not think are a big deal, but to a mum and a dad in a situation that's quite traumatic like that, I just want to thank you for being supportive and caring and understanding. And as you can see now, he's a big, healthy, growing lad that has his own mind and is independent. He's very far from that little fragile, vulnerable baby he once was. So thank you very much. Yay!